Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news. Hey Seahawks fans, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer for our team. There's been some intense speculation swirling around the league, and it centers on one of the most disruptive pass rushers in the NFL right now, Max Crosby. Yeah, you heard that right. The Raiders' relentless edge rusher, who's been making waves all season, is reportedly being floated around as a potential trade target for the Seahawks. And if this trade goes down, it could reshape our entire defensive strategy and boost our Super Bowl chances significantly. Now, let's set the scene. The Raiders are in a bit of a rebuild mode after a tough start this season. They're sitting at a 2-7 record, and their offense isn't exactly lighting up the scoreboard, averaging just 4 points per game. With that kind of record and a lot of cap space freed up, especially after a potential trade of Crosby, the Raiders seem willing to move pieces to start fresh. And sources indicate that a trade involving Max Crosby for a first-round pick in 2026 could be on the table. That's right, a future first-rounder, one of our most valuable assets, could land us a player who's been an absolute force on defense. Crosby in 2023 was named All-Pro, and he's a top 15 player in PFF's rankings for 2025. His stats speak volumes. In 2025 alone, he's accumulated 23 solo tackles, 14 assists, 37 combined stops, and 5 sacks, with a total of 32 quarterback hits. He also has 1 interception returned for yards and a forced fumble. His pressure rate sits at around 18%, and his EPA per snap is a remarkable -0.25, which shows how disruptive he is on the field. And get this, he's played 9 games without missing a single one due to injury, showing durability and consistency that we absolutely need in Seattle. Imagine adding Crosby to our already formidable rotation. His presence would be a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. He's a relentless titan, a true motor on the line, constantly applying pressure and forcing mistakes. His potential impact on our defense is enormous. We've seen what a top-tier pass rusher can do. Just look at how Watt changed the Texans' defense in 2023, or how Bosa's pressure creates chaos for offenses. Crosby, with his relentless style, could do the same for Seattle. Now let's talk about what this trade would mean for us. Right now, the Seahawks are sitting comfortably at 7-2, with one of the best defenses in the league, allowing just 19 points per game. Adding Crosby would take that to another level. If he joins, projections suggest he could add around 15 more sacks to our total, pushing us well over 37 sacks in the season. That's a massive boost, especially considering our current sack total of 22. This kind of pressure would force more turnovers, create more 3-and-outs, and give our offense even more opportunities to score. And when it comes to the playoffs, having Crosby would make us an even scarier opponent. Imagine a duo of him and Boy Mafe wreaking havoc on opposing offensive lines, all while our defense becomes even more aggressive. The impact on our chances to make a deep playoff run would be huge. In fact, some projections put our Super Bowl odds rising from +850 to around +600 if Crosby joins the squad. That's a significant leap, especially considering how much a dominant pass rush can tilt the scales in high-stakes games. But it's not just about the stats or the immediate impact. This move signals a clear statement from our front office. It shows that the Seahawks are willing to go all in, that we're serious about competing at the highest level and making a serious push for another Super Bowl appearance. Crosby's presence would energize the entire team, instill confidence, and set the tone for what's shaping up to be a playoff push that could go down in Seahawks history. Of course, the Raiders are in a tricky spot. With a cap space of around $2 million, they'd be looking to free up around $20 million for a quarterback rebuild, especially after allowing 220 points this season. Moving Crosby would help them with cap flexibility while giving them a much-needed reset. For the Seahawks, with roughly $6 million in cap space, acquiring Crosby would be a strategic move that doesn't just fill a need, but elevates the entire defense to a new level. It's the kind of move that could define a season. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this kind of trade isn't just about adding a star. It's about transforming our identity on defense. Crosby's ability to generate pressure, force turnovers, and disrupt the rhythm of opposing offenses would make us a nightmare for any team that faces us, especially in the playoffs. And with the way our offense is clicking, averaging around 150 yards rushing and passing combined, with plenty of mismatches in pass-rush situations, adding a player like Crosby would allow us to control the game even more. And let's not forget the emotional boost this would give our fans. Seahawks fans have been craving a defense that can impose its will, and Crosby is exactly that kind of player. His relentless energy, his ability to make game-changing plays, and his reputation as a top-tier pass rusher would make him a fan favorite almost overnight. His addition would turn the Seahawks into a team feared by everyone, not just in the NFC West, but across the league. The NFC West is already shaping up to be a competitive division, with the 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals all showing flashes of brilliance and potential. But if our defense gets a boost like Crosby, it could tip the scales in our favor. We'd be not just competing, but dominating on that side of the ball. And that, my friends, is exactly what we need to make a serious push for another Super Bowl appearance, especially given how tough the NFC is this season. In conclusion, this rumored trade for Max Crosby is more than just speculation. It's a potential game changer. If the Seahawks can pull this off, it would send a clear message that we're committed to building a dominant team that's ready to contend for the highest honors. Crosby's impact on our defense would be immediate and profound, elevating us into a true contender. The division, the conference, and the league better watch out, because with Crosby in the mix, the Seahawks are about to turn up the heat and make some serious noise. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think the Seahawks should pull the trigger and trade for Max Crosby? How do you see him fitting into our scheme? And what kind of impact do you believe he could have? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. Remember, this is a team effort, and your voice is part of what makes the Seahawks family so special. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seahawks news. We're in the midst of an exciting season, and with moves like this, the future looks brighter than ever. Let's go, Seahawks!